Hi, folks. We have finally solved an age old mystery that has been haunting my soul for years, and it's about the boots on top of the fence post. You see a lot more of them out here in the Midwest. I used to see a few out in cowboy country out in California, but never as many as you see out here. And I always wondered, is that just a decoration or is there a reason for that boot on the fence post? And nobody could ever tell me what that was all about. I heard a couple explanations. One was, again, it's just a decoration. It was a country thing to do, you know, put an old boot out on a fence post, make it look cool. And then another person told me a long time ago, people put old boots on top of a fence post upside down to keep the post from rotting, because the rubber sole or whatever sole was on the boot, back then I guess it was leather, would keep the post from rotting. But that explanation always sounded really corny to me and not believable. So finally, the other day I asked an old guy, and he gave me an explanation that was like a light bulb coming on and opened the floodgates of knowledge. And I really think in my heart this is the true use of this boot on the fence post. And I won't keep you waiting any longer. I know you're sitting there on the edge of your seat. So what he told me was the purpose of that boot was a lot of people that live out in cattle country or in rural areas, they live quite a ways off the road. Sometimes 5 miles off the road. Their driveways were pretty long. If you got thousands and thousands of acres, your driveway gets pretty long. So this is before the age of cell phones and everything else. So say your neighbor was driving by and he wanted to come by and chew the fat with you or do business with you or whatever, or anybody that was coming to do business with you, they could tell by looking at that boot on the end of your driveway sitting on that post whether you're home or not. What the farmer would do is, if he was home, the toe of the boot would be pointing down the driveway towards his place. If he left to go to town, he would stop and turn that boot around to where the toe of the boot was facing the road. So anybody coming by would know whether he was home or not and whether they needed to make the effort to drive down your driveway and waste all that fuel. And you can imagine back in the day when you were driving the old cars or whatever, it was probably a pretty decent drive, and probably not on so much of a smooth road either. So it was actually quite a time saver, and it really helped people out. Now, in the age of thievery that we live in now, not everybody knows or wants people to know whether they're home or not. And he was telling me that now it pretty much is just my original thought. It's just a decoration. And most boots are always pointed towards the house because people don't want others to know when they're not home, especially these miscreants and degenerates out stealing stuff. They think it's better to go take somebody else's stuff than work for it themselves, and they go stealing. So people don't use that indicator anymore because they want people to think they're home all the time. So most of your boots are going to be pointed towards the house. So yeah, served a lot of purpose back in the day, and now I can rest easy knowing what that boot was for. It tormented me for years. I just couldn't stand it. So there's a place that's really known for the boots and shoes on the fence. It's on Highway 26 between North Fork, Nebraska and Ogallala, Nebraska. There's about 3 miles of shoes on fence posts. People will stop and add to it, add their own little collection. They write on the soles of them or whatever, leave little messages. But people come from all over to see that long stretch of shoes on the fence. It's not that far from me, but I don't know if I'm going to make the trip. It's just shoes on the fence. Not that big a deal to me. But now that the mystery's solved, I hope you all can sleep better. And I hope you don't spend all your waking hours thinking about that like I did. And due to my expert investigation skills, the world can now rest easy that that mystery has been solved. So check on back with us here at Mark Kelly Farm, and we'll solve some other mysteries for you. We'll share some recipes with you. We'll help you out hopefully with some of your projects, or we just may give you a little tour here around the farm just to keep you posted on what we're doing and check in with you and keep you up to date so you can see what we're doing. So until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. We miss y'all. Bye-bye.